Hi everybody, it's Patty, Rockstar Mom. Welcome to my channel. Well, this is going to be a little bit different today. I am going to answer comments that you've left from my last video, or at least a few of them. I'm not going to do, this is not a get ready with me, although the title probably says that. But I'm going to be putting my makeup on, but I'm not going to be talking about my makeup. I will list everything that I'm putting on my face below in the show more box or the description box. And if you don't know how to find that, because some of you are new and you still don't know how to find that, let me tell you, if you're watching on your laptop or on your desk computer, just look right under the video and you'll see the words show more, and I think they're probably going to be right here. It says show more. If you click on show more, it will expand and you will see everything there is to know about this video. If you're on your iPad or your phone or your iPad or your phone or another device like that, there's a little tiny black arrow under the video, and it's going to be right over here. And if you just click on that little black arrow, then the show more box opens up, and you'll see everything pertaining to this video. If you're watching on your smart TV, that's a different story. I don't think you can get to the show more box from your TV. That's just the way it is. But if you're watching on any kind of mobile device or your computer or laptop, you can definitely find that show more box. And I always encourage you to look at that, because if you have any questions about the video, hopefully it will be in that show more box. Your answer will be in that show more box. Okay, we got it. Now, one bit of news before we ever even start with this video, because I did not address it in this video. Got my first COVID vaccine. Yeah, finally got it. Go back in I think on March the 3rd for my second one. A little bit of a tender arm right where I got it, but no side effects, nothing. It was just like it never happened. I mean, I was able to sleep on that side with no problems whatsoever, so it's all good. I hope that if you want the vaccine, you're able to get the vaccine. I think it's becoming more and more available. My sister and her son live in Memphis, and they've already had they had their second one just this past week. So it's becoming available, and which is good news. I think the more people who are vaccinated, I think the sooner we're going to be able to get back to some kind of normal, whatever that new normal is going to be. So with that being said, here we go. Although I'm not going to talk about what I have on or what I'm using and how I'm using it and why I'm using it, I am going to show you that I am still using my Skin Cosmetics, the Divine Elixir Manuka Honey Plus C. I love this. I have really everything I'm going to put on skincare wise but I'm going to put just a little bit of my Divine Elixir on top. And I take just the tiniest amount in the bottle and do just maybe 2 little tiny drops, and really you don't need much. And I warm it up in my hands and just, I don't know if you can see it in the camera or on your device that you're viewing on, but it's almost like it just wakes my skin up, gives it just a little glow. So my Divine Elixir. If you put too much of this on, you're going to be like a grease monkey. Start with the tiniest little bit, and then if you feel like you need more, add to it. I like it. Sometimes I have normal leaning toward dry skin. Right now, our winters have been so cold here in the panhandle of Florida that my skin is just like bone dry. I have to get outside and walk biscuit. And living right here on the water, the wind blowing, I don't even know, I don't know how to describe it. It is just, if you live in a situation like that, you understand it. But when it's chilly and the wind is blowing off of the water, it's not as bad as what a lot of you are going through right now, but it's bad. Whoops, turn my mirror off. But I'm gonna just read this first comment. And I'm not gonna name the person who made the comment, but because I don't have their approval to do that. But this is sort of I mean, I know their name is public on here, but I just don't want to use their name and without their permission. And I get this comment or something similar to this a lot. And she says, "You don't know how important you are for some of us. I hate being old. I never left my bedroom for over a year because I feel so old and ugly. And then I found you. I'll be 70 years old in April, and I never wore makeup in my whole life. When I was a kid, I put on a little bit of something, I'm not sure what she's saying there, on our lips. I hate what I look like when I look in the mirror and I see this old woman looking back at me. And because of you, I get up and I put makeup on and get dressed. I go anywhere, whether I go anywhere or not. You help me with that because I didn't know where to start. My doctor told me to put a little bit of lipstick on and I would feel better, but you don't know how you've helped me. And I'm sure there's a lot of ladies just like me. Please don't give this up. We look forward to seeing what you're using next. And I just ask you a question. Have you used that luminous airbrush makeup? See it advertised, but I don't know how to put makeup on. You taught me. I don't feel so bad about myself. Thank you very much." Okay, I have not tried that. It's just something that has never really interested me. It's like I sort of have this thought that I've got that sprayer thing. I don't want it all in my hair. I know I could put a headband on or put a shower cap over my head. I guess I could do that, but I could just see myself having that all over me, all over the floor, anything that's behind me. That just doesn't, it's just never interested me at all. Here's another one. Congratulations. You will love being a grandma. I'm a grandma, and I love it. When you make, when you do moving video, can you do pros and cons? Why are you moving? What and how do you choose a new place? This is your channel, and you can do whatever you please. In this age, enjoy it. Thanks. Okay. I am a grandma already because Jim's two sons have children that I consider my grandchildren. Two of them are young adults. I call them the older ones. That's how I've referred to them, because one of his other son has two very young ones, toddlers and preschool, let's put it that way. So I've been calling them the young ones or the little ones. And then my daughter and her wife are pregnant. My daughter-in-law carrying the babies, twins, and I've been referring to them as the babies. So I have, you know, I'm already a grandma, and I love it. Oh, I did want to go ahead and address that about the moving. We have been entertaining moving for a long time. I have said this before in videos. When we actually bought this little condo, and it is a small condo, back probably about 7 or 8 years ago, and oh wait, forgot something, about 7 or 8 years ago, and when we first bought it, we had no idea that we would ever live here. It was never our plan to move from Arkansas. We just came to Florida, to this part of Florida, for so long that it just seemed that we should buy something down here to have, not only for us but for our children to use. And that's one of the reasons we bought this particular place. Was it's a condo, and we don't have to worry about yards. We don't have to worry about roofs and fences and all that stuff. You know, you pay the maintenance fee, and that takes care of everything. It's small. It's 3 bedrooms. It has absolutely no closet space. It's a little 3-story building. On the 3rd floor, on the roof, we have a little small storage room, no garage, and I'm telling you, it's just, you know, when Jim retired, and we decided to come down and just stay indefinitely, it was, even then, it was not, oh, let's see if we like it well enough to move there. It was never that. It was, we're just going to stay indefinitely because we have it and we can. And we got down here and absolutely loved it. Loved living here. And that was that decision. And we thought, well, we'll just try this. But our family is large. When you start looking at adults, not so much the children, but when the older ones, grandchildren were, when they were younger in the beginnings, we could put them on blow-up inflatable beds, or the pallets, or the sofa, and they just didn't take up a lot of space, period. Let me tell you, they're adults now. They take up space. So it's not working for us. So we first started looking for a house. I'm looking for something here. We first started looking for a house about 2.5 years ago, before Hurricane Michael. And we knew exactly what we wanted. If we were going to make the move, we knew it would be our last move until our kids took us off kicking and screaming to the nursing home or wherever they were going to put us. So we want to make sure that we get exactly what we want. I just realized I had the TV on in the background, and I'm not going to know until I edit this video how much of that you can hear. But I turned it off. We've just not been able to find what we're looking for. When Hurricane Michael happened, real estate here became a premium. And it has continued to be that way 2.5 years later. Something that we might like comes on the market and it's gone, sells the same day, within hours of it going on to the market. What we're looking for is obviously what a lot of other people are looking for too. So that's why we're thinking about moving. We're not in any hurry. We have expanded our search to pretty much any place here in the Panhandle on the water. And I don't mean having a house on the beach. I mean being within a few minutes of the beach. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking at anywhere in the Panhandle. We're looking at possibly even going down into the Fort Myers area. And yes, if we do it, I will for sure take you along with, I'll tell you what we're looking for. We're looking for at least 3 bedrooms, at least 2.5 bathrooms, which is basically what we have here. That's exactly what we have here. And it's not even about the square footage. We want a Florida room. We want a small swimming pool with a bird cage over it, or the covered, because the mosquitoes and bugs are so bad here. So we want a covered small swimming pool and a 2-car garage. That's it. We love the old Florida style of homes, Mediterranean style. We would prefer not to have a new home. Oh, we need to get to some more questions. Here's another one. Hi, Patty. What is your thought about facial exercises? Not sure if you have talked about facial exercises before. You know, I haven't talked about them, I don't think, because I don't do them. Just like with anything else, whether it's the new face or, it doesn't matter. If you're not going to do it, it's not going to work. And that's something that I don't know that I would actually keep up with. So I just don't do them. I don't know whether they work or not. But as I said, I know you have to do it, or it wouldn't. Nothing works if you don't use it. That I know for sure. I'm using some new product today that I haven't shown you before, and although I will list it underneath, I'm not gonna talk about it because I'd get off on a tangent. See, let's go to another question. It's been a while, but I'm still here too. I've wanted to ask you this for a long time, but where did you get that chair you're sitting in? Okay, and that's just part of her comment. I'm not going to read the whole comment sometimes, but that chair, those chairs we got, we had different chairs when we first bought furniture for this place. What we had, those that had like the writing on them, they were, we got them at the same place, but they were little lazy boy chairs, small lazy boys. They weren't lazy boys, but recliners. And when I tell you, we wore those chairs out, it wasn't so much that we wore them out, but they got so dirty, so dirty. And I finally couldn't. I had tried to clean them, and although when we got them, they had supposedly were treated with Scotchgard, but you know, here in Florida, when you're going down to the pool or to the beach, And you come in, and it's not just us, but our kids have suntan lotion, the beach on them, and sit down. It's just going to ruin anything, and that's what happened. So these we got at Hank's, actually. There is a huge Hank's here. And I've had people ask about our sofa. That's where our sofa came from. And what had happened with that sofa was we were looking for furniture. And we went to Hank's. And we went in the front door. Jim went this way, I went that way. And I got not far, and I saw that sofa. And it had like some tape or something around it. I could still sit on it. I mean, I could fully see it. And so that was it. I knew that was my sofa. And the salesperson came around and to see if he could help. And I said, I'm interested in this sofa. And he said, well, it's not for sale. He said, it was sent to us by mistake. We sell the brand of sofa here, but we didn't order this fabric. And it's a one of a kind. And we're sending it back. And about that time, Jim rounded the corner, and I'm sitting on that sofa, on the end of it. And I said, I want this sofa. And I said, but he says it's not for sale. And I think Jim said, why don't you, if you're not the manager, why don't you check and see if this sofa can be sold, if we can buy this sofa. And he did, and they sold it to us. And that's where we got the chairs that you see me sitting in now. There's 2 of them, and that's going to be a video. I'm not going to show you, you're not going to see me covering those chairs, but you're going to see what I did to them that literally anybody can do to protect your furniture. I will tell you that when we first got those chairs, the first thing I did was I called the furniture store back and I asked if we could order that fabric by the yard, because I was going to make covers for the chairs, because I didn't want what had happened to the first ones to happen to this one, or these 2. We have 2. And he said yes, and he gave me the information. And I went online and I ordered. I sort of knew what I wanted to do, but I guessed at the fabric, and I ordered the fabric. And it took probably, it took a week or 2 to come in. But in the meantime, I believe it was QVC on one day, and it was the Today Special Value, and they were those covers that you just throw over your furniture, that sort of microfiber. And Jim was here that day, and he all of a sudden was watching that presentation. And he said, maybe that's what we need. And that's what I did, is we ordered those just for each of our chairs before the fabric came in that I had ordered. So I think that's pretty much all I'm going to do. I don't know what this looks like, but that's why we got those chairs. And we used those. Listen, we used those throws that you put over the chairs, and they were so ugly. They were so ugly, but they were so functional. They stayed wrinkled up all the time, constantly having to straighten them out, even though, they weren't cheap, and it was that, is it SureFit? I'm sort of thinking that's the name of the brand, very well known. But you can tuck them in on the sides, and they're supposed to stay in place, and they didn't. What they did do is they protected the chairs. That was it. I hated for someone to come in and see or knock on our door and me open the door and they could see those chairs right there. And I hated that because they were always in disarray. So, I don't know, about 2 months ago, I guess, I decided one day I was going to do something. I had that fabric and I was going to do something. And I was amazed at how fast it came together. And I will one day show you how I covered those chairs. I didn't cover them, but I protected them. And this is what's so funny is that if you look at them from a distance, you wouldn't know I had done what I did to them because the pattern is everywhere on it, so I didn't have to match patterns. But Jim said one day, I've gotten paranoid now because I don't want to mess up these covers that you made. So I said, that's what they're there for. Okay, again, let's, now that we have time, let's look at, these are comments from my last video where I talked about switching the channel up a bit. And you are the best. You are just the best. Most of you just want to see me come on here and talk, which is what I'm doing basically today. And you may see a lot of this where I put my makeup on and answer comments. This is sort of interesting. Dear Patty, I'm almost 71 and I totally agree with you. I think all these beauty channels are, after a time, very boring. I don't think they're very boring. I think that maybe some of us might lose some interest in them. I still watch some of them, and I sort of look at the thumbnail and the title, and that's how I sort of make the decision what I'm going to watch, with the exception of just a very few people. I wouldn't miss their videos for anything. But she says, we have experienced so many things in our lives, and we are changing little by little with our priorities. That is so true. I am Belgian. Need to go back traveling with my husband as these years are precious to us. That's exactly how Jim and I feel. We feel like, if we were 30 years old or 40 years old in good health, a year out of our lives or a year and a half or 2 years out of our lives sitting at home would be different than when you're 77. How much, when this is all over, are we really going to be able to travel? And are we going to be healthy enough to travel? Especially going to Europe and doing the things that we like to do. So that's been a concern for us. She says, we are now home for a year with this pandemic. I think she speaks for a lot of us. So many of you who are just brand new, you're just finding my channel. Someone else from Sweden. Do you do anything special with your hair? I'm 60 this year and your hair is twice as dense. I have lost so much since menopause. I have always had thick hair. It's not as thick as it used to be, I will say that. But I've always had thick hair. So, I don't do anything special to my hair. I just shampoo it and cream rinse it a couple of times a week, and every once in a while when I think about it, put a mask on it. That's it. Why do you want to move again, Patty? The apartment you are in seems to be in a lovely area, able to walk down to the water, etc. Well, I think I answered that. Yeah, why we're interested. I mean, it's beautiful here. We can't complain. It's just that we need. Let me tell you this. We have whoever designed this particular floor plan that we have, and I know who did, but I don't know what they were thinking. We have the smallest master bedroom closet in the world. I can stand in the middle of that closet and I can hold my hands straight out like this. I turn my hands up. I don't have to point my fingers, and I can turn this way and it's the same. I can touch the walls all the way around. And Jim and I have to share that closet. We have a small sliding door closet in each bedroom, in the other two bedrooms, and they're small. We have a small little laundry room, and we have a hall closet for linens and things like that. That's it in this whole place. I mean, our little walk-in closet for the master bedroom is what's actually in the bathroom, but it's not big enough for one person. I don't even want to go there. Oh. Okay. Makeup and skincare are important, but this journey of life is so much more important. The stories we tell. I lost a family friend 2 weeks ago. She was 85. A lot older than me, but boy, she had stories to tell. Her travels growing up in World War II, immigrating to America, her history with my family. It would be so interesting to hear the stories about your life as a flight attendant, the journeys you have been on, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. I used to think, after I quit flying, when I would think back about it, that I could write a book on things that happened to me while I was flying, things I experienced, people I met. And then I realized that any flight attendant from back then in the day when we were actually called stewardesses up to today could write that very same book. When I was flying, I made up my mind, and I shared this with many people. You know, men, young boys, young men, used to be drafted to go to war, to serve in the military. Women didn't. And I used to say that every young woman, let's say woman, should have to fly for an airline as a stewardess or a flight attendant. I mean, it should be mandatory because you grow up real fast. You see it all. There were a lot of perks back then. I got to see the world, got to travel, see things I would probably never see otherwise. But boy, the people and the experiences, can't trade it for anything. So any person who has ever flown could write my same book, I'm sure about that. But I do want to tell you some funny things and some serious things that happened when I was flying. So that's going to be some of those videos. And I have a lot of other things that stories that I want to tell you that I hope will be interesting for you. One thing I will tell you that I've been working on this past year, and sadly to say I'm maybe about halfway through with it, but of course, I'm going to have my YouTube channel. I hope that even after I'm long gone, maybe this will all still be out there in the cloud somewhere for our children and grandchildren to be able to access and get to know me from this. But I'm writing a book, and it's not a book to be published. It's just going to be a small little, like a children's book, but it's going to be about me. And my daughter, for instance, knows a lot of what I've been through and a lot of my stories, but there's a lot she doesn't know. And I don't want to rely on her or Jim's children to tell my story. I want them to know who I was, what I believed in, how I felt, experiences, people I met. I want them to know how much being kind is important to me. And it's going to be for all of our grandchildren. By the time it's finished, for sure, we'll have 6. And for any great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren that may come the way of our family. I want them to know who I am. And I think this is something that probably all of us should do. I know that Jim has had experiences and met people, and I mean, Jim Jim had the opportunity not long before we moved down here, and I don't think I ever even told y'all about it, but Jim, Chief or Supreme Court Justice Scalia, came to visit the town where we were, and they made a big production out of it. They had him speak, and it was open to the public, and there were the auditorium where he spoke was packed, overflowing, and Jim was asked to be on stage with him, actually asking him the questions. And then we had the opportunity to go to dinner with him. So, you know, we all have stories. We all have stories to tell. And that's what I want to do with this show. I want to do some makeup, I do. But a lot of it may be me putting on my makeup and you listening to me tell stories. Okay, I'm going to list everything that I've used on my face today below. You know where to find that. And I just want to thank you for being here. There's no way I could read all of your comments here in this video. We would be here for days. But I do read every single comment, even if I don't get to reply to you. Know that I read every single comment. I'm trying to sort of change things up for me personally so that I can keep doing this. I am trying to get up every morning and read all of my comments or that have come in from the day and overnight before. And again, I will reply to all I can, depending on how many there are. But that, to me, doing it first thing in the morning is maybe a real good way for me to get a good handle on it. So, but know that I do read all your comments. I just can't answer all of them. But know this. Know I appreciate you. I love you. You're the best. I've said this so many times, but you're just the best. You're the best. I know you watch other channels, but it seems like you come back to me too, and I appreciate that. Go out and have a wonderful day. Don't forget to be kind. Bye-bye.